The man, the legend, Marcell Coetzee. Welcome to the Offload, man. How are you? You looking forward to this weekend? Big final in Croke Park.
Yeah, thanks all. Great to see you again, Tommy. It's been way too long, and other, yeah, no, look, it's going to be a cracker. No, excitement is in the camp, and it's really building up to something special. And yeah, just awesome to chat with you guys.
Marcell, we'll get into the match, but I think we have to put the screen on widescreen or something, man. You are looking pumped. Look at the size of you.
It's only the screen. No, I promise you. It's only the screen.
How is the body? Because we would remembered your time with Ulster, but now we've seen you going well with the Blues. How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, not too bad. Look, it's last weekend's game was very physical against the Sharks. It's almost Springboks all over the park, and no, look, the boys were carrying some hurt and load, but no, look, all in all, not bad. You're still in the fight, and you're just enjoying your rugby with the boys, and till the wheels fall off, so we're gonna keep on going, so.
Well, you went back home to the good weather, of course, in Pretoria. You wouldn't surprise. I'm actually outside here at the minute, Marcell. You never saw good weather like this up in Ulster when you were here. Tell us about your time here? Listen, you went through a tough time with injuries, but you became such a fan favourite, played some unbelievable rugby. Did you enjoy your time living up in Ulster?
Geez, Tommy, I must say, even every time when you come visit Ireland, it feels like a second home for you with all the memories that you build up and the community and the people. It will always be special to me, and like it feels like I said, it's a second home for you. And yeah, it was tough going those first 2 years. As you know, we were in the rehab together with the knees, and
We
yeah, it was
were.
very tough going. But I think how the rugby after that, and how we managed to turn things around, and the camaraderie that was built. I mean, I just spoke to Geordie Murphy now and Jack, and all the guys. They're going to meet me this week, So you keep that network, and that is really special for me about this game. It's awesome being back.
Donncha, whenever Marcell first turned up to Belfast, they had those average speed cameras, right?
Oh.
And he'd obviously not seen those. So the yellow boxes, in the first month, I think he must have racked up about 15 speeding fines driving through. He was like, what are these things, eh? What are these? And literally just posted all into the Ulster Rugby office and the Ulster car.
Lovely work, Marcell. What did you think they were? Bird boxes?
No, geez, I just thought it was there to maybe, I don't know what it was, but I blame BMW for giving me an X6 because you can't give me an X6 and not expect me to test it a little bit, But geez,
Give
before
it
I
some
knew
poke.
it, Brent called me in and said, listen, you're on your way to court, my friend. I'm like, this is what I do, so.
Amazing.
There were tough times in the gym, though. But listen, I think at one stage I nearly beat you in a bench pressing competition. Isn't that right?
Shut up, Tommy. Marcell, don't even answer it.
There you go.
To be fair, you were unbelievable with your positivity, though. Like, that's one amazing thing about you, Marcell. Like, I think it wasn't it 2 ACLs you had back to back,
That's
but you
correct.
still turned up every day, smile on your face, ready to push yourself. And it's difficult when yourself and Chanel move up to Belfast, a new area, and you're going through a difficult time. But your positive attitude was just something that was so incredible. And to be a part of that rehab team with you, but also even as part of the greater Ulster team, you had an amazing impact on Ulster in that time that you're there.
No, thank you so much for your kind words, Tommy. No, it comes a lot from you. That's Ulster legend and Irish legend, But yeah, look, it wasn't always easy days. You know how rehab goes. You get your good days and your bad days. But I think you enjoyed the environment so much, and the guys were so supportive, and the management as well. And it sets yourself up for motivation to when you do get back on the pitch, you just want to contribute, because, and I think that was the biggest thing hanging over my head. It was Ulster invested so much, and you couldn't really give back in that first 2 years. But I knew, if you're fully fit and you can carry on, you just want to give back to the crowd, and you end up staying there for 5 years and just carry on enjoying your rugby. So no, look, it was dark in the beginning, but I must say, guys like you and guys that kept you positive, it was special.
Yeah. I was surprised it wasn't only your knees, Marcell, that came at you. I thought it was your back from holding that whole place up. Your performances were incredible. But Marcell, you chat about being at home and it feels like a second home. You're going to our spiritual home this weekend. Croke Park holds a special place not only in Irish sport but Irish history. How excited are you about that? You know, it's stepping into, that's our cathedral for sport. It means so much to us. In a URC final that's, you know, got such excitement.
No, look, I think the biggest thing is it's an honor, first of all, to be in a final and to play it in a venue like that. I mean, you can't even really script it. So, no, look, I think there's going to be emotion, there's going to be passion, there's going to be energy, and yeah, both teams are going to be up for it. And yeah, it's all about who's clinical and accurate on the day and who uses the opportunities the best. But I think the fans, the one thing I can acknowledge is the Irish fans are extremely passionate and gets very excited behind the teams and big derby games. So, no, look, we'll just feed off that.
Are you excited though? Because it's tough for you guys flying up from the Southern Hemisphere, coming up to Dublin, where it's obviously a home match for Leinster in, as Donncha said, the spiritual home. But you guys have a bit of a knack for or feeding off this. I would imagine you're excited to pull something out like a performance this weekend that people aren't even expecting to really shock this Leinster team.
Yeah, well, if you look at this Leinster team, I mean, look at how many names are in the British and Irish Lions squad for this summer. And then you take the international experience. I mean, it's a star-studded team. It's a real class, and it's got a good management behind it and stuff. But the one thing we do really take confidence of, particularly this season, we managed to travel very well away from home, and we managed to find a rhythm in our game and also off the pitch where we really enjoy each other's company, and we really actually trying to make it a positive for the team environment's sake. And I think it's going to take a special effort to really do the job against this. Leinster team played them a couple of seasons now. I know what they're capable of and how accurate they can be and make it tough for you on the day. But yeah, we've got our own sort of DNA that's really been working for us recently, and we just want to back it on the day. So.
What is that DNA?
Well, I think we pride ourselves on our physicality. We love the set piece battles and collisions and all that sorts. But it's actually adding a better smarts and playing in the right areas and being aware of the situation where you find yourself in. I think we've grown immensely in that department in recent seasons. Where we sort of lacked. And yeah, look, we're not perfect. Our discipline really wasn't up to scratch last weekend. Something we can fix, and then there's a few other silly areas in the special territory sections. But we'll just manage what we can.
Their DNA is everything you're not, Tommy, to be completely honest. Marcell, as a young boy watching the Blues for a front five forward, if you want to get an education on how to be a decent combative forward, you watch the Bulls.
Yeah, well, look, it's a brand of rugby we really love, South Africa. I think even in the Springbok setups, you can see we love the collisions and we love the physicality of the game. And yeah, it's just all about being now smart with that and how we can use it to the best of our ability. But yeah, there's nothing like it, so.
Marcell, you did mention the emotion, and it does, when you go to a final, you need to call on everything. Will you be calling, like the last two URC finals didn't go the way you would have liked it? Have you addressed that and spoke about that? Is that a bit of a driver for you?
Yeah, I think if you take that first URC, it was an amazing journey that we went to get to the final there. We had to beat Leinster in the semi-final away, and that was a great achievement, but then we came short in the final almost. But we had a young team then, and I wasn't that young, but the other guys around you were really young. But so we sort of I think we punched above our weight. And then the second final last season, I think that's the one that really hurt us. It was a great opportunity. It was at home, but we took a lot of learnings from that final. Sometimes you have to learn it the hard way, and we managed to do that. And we managed to bounce back from that to get ourselves in another final this season, So I think the biggest thing now is just using all those failures now and making you stronger to accept the next challenge that awaits us for this weekend.
And Joe McCarthy, of course, he's a Leinster second row. He kind of said everybody loves to hate Leinster. Do you need extra motivation for this? It's a final, Marcell. Listen, and you'll be a huge driver in there, but you do have a lot of experience in that squad too. Like, how to perform on the biggest days. I presume you'll be going into this final not really worried about them. Play your own game, take it to this Leinster team, and whatever happens from there goes. Like when you have some of the size and the power and then the speed and skill out wide, if you guys click on the day, you're going to be bloody giving them a hard game, and it doesn't matter who you're up against.
No, well, I can actually say in converse to Leinster as well. If they also get it right on the day, we'll also have a tough day, So I think both teams need to be really accurate in what they do, and playoffs. It comes down to big moments, and you can't really have. Phil Cardy's phoning you there, but
Phone call.
yeah,
I'm in the beer garden. Sorry, I'm in a beer garden of a pub. I don't have a pint on me, Marcell, but normally me and you, we did have a few pints as part of these rehab days, but I don't have to play a final this weekend, so apologies about that.
Marcell,
Ringing me to see where I am.
as you can see, he's as professional as ever, the clown that is Tommy Bowe. I apologise.
Things don't change, man.
You idiot, Bowe.
No, I'm just glad he. Normally, when I sat with him in Guinness, he was always on his phone. Now, at least he has to use his phone to talk to me now. So I'll take that now. But no, look, yes, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you just one thing for me, and you mentioned the discipline. Obviously, last week you can see how that happens with a kind of rivalry. You know what I mean? You're playing against guys you're fighting it out for places with. But how disciplined do you need to be this week? Where are the areas you need to go after? Like, you have one of the greatest coaches of all time in Jake White. Without giving away everything, what for you is the areas that, you know what I mean, that you will be targeting to come out on top on?
Yeah, look, I think our discipline record's not really good this season, in terms of yellow cards and stuff like that. I think we're way up there. In the finals, you need 15 men on the pitch on the day, because playing a guy like, stop finger pointing, I mean. But
I wasn't pointing at you, was I?
But yeah, look, it's you need 15 guys on the field to really go head to head with this Leinster side. We know the kind of rugby they play. It's expensive, it's quick, and it's high tempo, and you don't need a number less to handle that. So I think, look, that is the biggest area, and it's really going to come down to composure and control, I would say, in key moments. Finals is all about taking your opportunities, and we have to identify that and execute it.
It's going to be a cracker of a match, and hopefully we have a huge crowd for it there in Croke Park as well. Tell me, how's life at home for you? How are you enjoying yourself, Chanel? All going well, family life and everything else? I mean, you must be loving it, are you? The Bulls are flying too, rugby-wise.
Yeah, look, it was sad to leave Ulster. I must say, I really enjoyed my time there and stuff. But with COVID and everything, you kind of realize, geez, life is short, and the family, you really missed home and stuff. And when you got back, just how the Bulls welcomed you, and they really took care of you. Chanel's back at her hometown; she's loving life, and recently turned father now with a baby girl, and now I've got another one on the way. So,
Hey,
oh, look,
congratulations.
it's been good for me, So, but no, look, I think it just all comes down to enjoyment. It's great to be in your home place and your people. But like I said, when you touch down here, it will always feel like second home for you, Ireland. Ireland's got a real special place for me.
And I know that Jake White was a big part of you coming back home as well. Like, he's an inspirational coach, has done such amazing things internationally and club-wise. What is it, you've gone back to the Bulls now, you've had pretty good success over there. What is it about him that is able to bring such belief into this Bulls squad?
I think he's a big visionary. That's the one thing when we started our negotiations, he said he wants to build something special here at the Bulls, and he saw you as one of us being a part of that, and that was just another thing to consider when you went back. And then the experience that he brings. I mean, it's a World Cup winning coach. He's won Tri-Nations. He's got all the experience in the world, and I think his biggest attribute is how he can pull the right players and the right guys squad together in the right direction, and how he helped young guys come through the system. Guys like Ruan, that was a baby when I arrived, and now he's the team captain and a Springbok. And then you got heaps of other players like Ulrich Lowe that came through the systems. We've got new guys like Jeff van Heer and stuff. So he he's got an eye for a talent and he knows what he needs to win. And I think that's really one of his biggest assets. And obviously the experience that he brings just brings that calmness as well.
He spoke in the media earlier in the week and kind of highlighted maybe something we all talk about, the Gulf in terms of budget with Leinster and stuff like that. But you would have seen teams like the Scarlets and Northampton. Do you look to something like that maybe you haven't got the squads of players like that? How do ye find a point of difference?
No, well, obviously in South Africa we have a salary cap, and we have to manage accordingly to that. But yeah, it's always going to be a challenge. But I think with the talent pool that we have in South Africa and the variety of network that comes through, we've got guys playing here overseas that's really excelling in the rugby, and then we've got new guys coming through the school systems and new talent just growing. So that's one thing we are very blessed with in South Africa is the a wide range of talent that we have, because of our population as well. So, in rugby in South Africa, we rugby mad. Everybody wants to be a Springbok, everybody wants to be a Vodacom Bulls player. So, no, it just keeps you on your toes and it makes you grateful because you're always in a fight here in South Africa. So, you have to look over your shoulder constantly and you just have to keep working at it. But I think that will always be a strong point for us in South Africa is the range of talent pool that comes through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, Marcell, we really, really appreciate you talking to us. It's great to see you again, man. Honestly, such great memories with you on and off the pitch as well. And I'm absolutely so proud to see how well you're going over in the Bulls too. And wish you all the very best. Obviously, as an Irishman, I will be having to support Leinster this weekend. Donncha, probably not so much.
No, we are Irish, you know that, but we do hope you go well and you give it your all. To be honest, we're hoping for a cracker, Marcell. We'd love it to be sold out for you. You deserve it for the type of rugby you've both been playing, and hopefully it's a incredible URC final.
No, geez, thank you so much for your kind words. No, look, it's awesome to be on the podcast, seeing you again, Tommy, and the other legend from Munster. But yeah, no, look, all I can say is it's going to be a cracker. It's going to be a battle. But yeah, the guys, I think the team that takes their opportunities on the day will emerge. So
go well, Marcell. Go well.
Big time.
Marcell,
great to see you. Oh.
Do you know, now that you've had another baby on the way, you can join us on the pod. That's all we do. We're just basically avoiding our house. Look at him. Marcell, he's in a beer garden, man. You know what I mean? He's told Lucy that I'm recording a pod.
Jeez, beer gardens, podcast. No, sign me up. Dennis, let's go. Let's go.
Here, tell me this, actually. Is your brother still out kind of running a big game farm or whatever else as well, isn't he? What was it he did? Amazing fella.
Oh, yes, he's still soldiering on. He's part of the anti-poaching unit there at Sabi Sand there in South Africa. And he's doing phenomenal, Tommy. I'll tell you, he's really making a difference in the conservation part of rhinos and just upholding the species, So, he's my older brother, but he's in the firing line and he's giving his heart and soul every day. And just extremely proud of him, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Amazing. And honestly, so I remember because you would go in and spend some time with him as well. I'd say he loves to have you along there. Extra bit of beef there to try and keep people away.
Yeah, no, look, he's the older brother, so he claims he bullied me enough to be tough to play this game, So, and by his work and standards, you can believe him. But look, he's really excelling there. It's always awesome to visit him. I think the other day I went to him and he took me out for a bush braai. And then whilst we were braaiing there in the bush, there was like a dam there. And then he sent a drone up there and there were rhinos literally 80 meters from us.
No way.
Eventually they came close and close. And that's the kind of experience that you miss, being at home and just that, because you know me as the country wildlife bush crazy fanatic, and just being a part of that environment and exploring that with my old brother. I mean, you can't offer anything better.
If there was rhinos 80 meters from me, you're the exact man I want to be around, Marcell.
And I'm definitely not. I'm off.
Amazing.
Listen, all the very best, man. Bring out the rhino in you this weekend. Yeah. Great to see you, Marcell. Have a great one, mate. Thanks so much for catching up.
Blessed day, guys. Thank you so much for the podcast. Thanks, mate.
Good on you.